Scott Parker, injured at the hands of Doug Williams 5 weeks ago, last week beat Alex Shade with the help of Guy Thunder to move into the final of our title tournament. Tonight he meets Doug Williams. The winner will take home the title, the loser takes home nothing. Scott Parker has avoided his doctor's advice all week, fearful of bad news. He's in for a beating at the hands of Williams, but he wants that title. Williams there, quietly contemplating what he has to do. The title's within his grasp. I'm Mark Priest, and tonight we have the final of our FWA British Heavyweight Title Tournament. That'll be Scott Parker versus Doug Williams, and that'll be later in the show. First, we have tag team business of a kind, in that we need to find #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Victoria de Montfort, our lovely lady commissioner, has taken the top 2.
Well, once again, this is Breed TV, and as you can see, it's not quite a normal format. To be truthful, we're not very happy. We've lost the tag belts to the Castanos.
You see, that's right. And today we've decided to reenact that terrible moment. You see, the crowd are turning away in shame. You've got Mo happy, but he's not going to be happy for long, even with his penny on. And you've got the two little monkeys here, yeah, just standing there celebrating with the titles. But we're going to show them what's going to happen, aren't we, Ash?
Once again, like Godzilla tore down Tokyo and Godzilla rampaged through the city, what we're going to do is we're going to rampage through the Castanos. Alex is going to be down, George is going to be down, and once again the Breed are going to be standing supreme on top of the tag division, because that's where we deserve to be. I don't care if you're monkeys, I don't care if you've got belts, I don't care if you've got chairs, we're going to be on top again. Wait and see.
You see, you understand, you've made us angry now, and you wouldn't like us when we're angry. I ain't playing games anymore.
What the hell was that? Those long-haired punks have interrupted me again. That time of my life I'm not getting back. Anyway, back to business. As I was saying, Victoria de Montfort has taken 2 of the top men in the FWA. It's Paul Tyrell and Mark Sloan. She said to them, you two fight each other. The winner will find a partner, and that team will take on the tag team champions, the Castano brothers, La Familia, who last week we saw beat the Breed for the title. Now, we already know that Mark Sloan is going to choose James Tighe as his partner. That's as good as written. We saw them way back at the start of our series take on the Breed and lose. But who will Paul Tyrell choose? A couple of weeks ago, we saw him in a 6-man tag. His partners were Jody Fleisch and Jack Xavier. Now, Jody Fleisch is injured. We saw that horrible injury a couple of weeks ago, dislocating his elbow in a stunt gone wrong. That leaves Jack Xavier. I'm not saying that Paul Tyrell is going to choose Jack Xavier, but what an awesome team they would make. Anyway, to the match in hand. Mark Sloan getting on top. What a nasty piece of work. I bet he graduated from nasty school, where the first 2 lessons would be surliness and poking people in the eye. He's that nasty, ladies and gentlemen. The kind of nastiness you find as if I stole a raffle from a baby. Of course, I didn't steal a raffle from a baby. That's just an example of the human trait of nastiness. Another human trait is cheapness, like when a mother demands £10 for a damn raffle. Anyway, I'm getting off the story here. And Paul Tyrell comes back on Mark Sloan. Arm drag's taken over. These two really know each other well. They've fought since the beginning of the FWA, and they match each other move for move. You couldn't ask for a closer match in the FWA, ladies and gentlemen. Baseball slide from Paul Tyrell. A huge baseball slide, taking Mark Sloan down. And another to the face. Mark Sloan, he may be a nasty piece of work. Paul Tyrell's getting in his face and saying, punks like you are a dime a dozen, I'd blow my nose on punks like you. Crowd getting in Mark Sloan's face there. This may be his hometown, but it's also Paul Tyrell's hometown. They're both Portsmouth boys, but the crowd hates Mark Sloan. He may as well have gone around their house in the middle of the night and played Knock Door Run. That's how much they hate him. He's woken them up. They've got to go to work the next morning. They're tired, they're emotional, and Mark Sloan's to blame. Springboard planter over the top by Paul Tyrell, taking Mark Sloan down. These two working a slightly lucha style tonight. Some people would say lucha only comes from Mexico, but tonight it comes from Portsmouth. Back into the ring, senior referee Steve Linsky calling the men back in. He wants business done in the ring. Paul Tyrell, lovely suplex there. He really has all the tools at his disposal. And you know what, ladies? He's single. Mark Sloan shaking Paul Tyrell down. That could ruin his fun after the show. You should see the queue of ladies outside his dressing room. Not like some other Portsmouth wrestlers I won't mention who need to put adverts in a personals column. Huge superplex off the top there by Mark Sloan, driving Paul Tyrell's backbone into the mat. Near count there, Mark Sloan saying, hurry up, Linsky, speed up. But you look at Linsky, I don't think he's ever hurried up in his life. Certainly he's got the build of a man that says, I take things slowly. Mark Sloan trying to get the crowd into it, but they're just not interested. They hate him to the point of apathy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They're turning away. When Mark Sloan's on top, they couldn't care. They don't want to look. It's like a car crash. They don't want to look and see the twisted bodies. We saw a car crash last week and Scott Parker tumbled into Alex Shane and his bodyguard, leading to like a human wreckage. This is a different kind of car crash with Mark Sloan. It's perhaps a man driving down the motorway with a caravan. That caravan is starting to spin out. You're thinking, oh, there's going to be a crash. I don't like this, but you're worried about yourself. The people in the crowd are thinking, oh, this guy's nasty, he's on top, but I'm worried about myself. Because if I watch him, I might get to like him, and liking Mark Sloan is the last thing these people want to do. Missile drop kick sending Mark Sloan down to the canvas. Paul Tyrell getting back on top, but he may have done more damage to himself than he's done to Mark Sloan. A nip-up. Paul Tyrell, consummate showman. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any man in the FWA who does things with such a flair? Oh! Oh! Spine buster. Mark Sloan's spine has literally been busted. Covered by Tyrell. Too near the ropes. Mark Sloan knows where he is at all times. He's a ring general. Paul Tyrell getting into it with Steve Linsky. You don't want to get distracted by the referee at all. And that's what happened. In Mexico they call it un foul. Here we call it a foul. Cheat, 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 chant the crowd. They're letting Mark Sloan know that they don't appreciate his bending of the rules. But having been to Nasty School myself, I know that the headmaster, Mr. Nasty, will particularly like that. Beshi bomb there, a senton bomb over the top rope. Once again, foot in the ropes, this time Paul Tyrell, showing that he is matching Mark Sloan, move for move. They both trained together when they were young. They took different paths. Mark Sloan joined the dark side. Paul Tyrell is our own Luke Skywalker here, fighting the Darth Vader of Mark Sloan. Just like Darth Vader, Mark Sloan sitting on the ropes, inviting the fans into the ring to fight him. I don't actually remember Darth Vader sitting on any ropes inviting the fans into a wrestling ring to fight him, but it's the kind of thing he would do. This has turned into a brawl, ladies and gentlemen. If this was in a bar, it'd be a bar brawl. But as it's in a ring, I suppose it's a ring brawl, or a wrestling match. German suplex, and Paul Tyrell is broken in half. As God is my witness, he's broken in half. The two halves are now going to have to be glued together if he's going to have any hope of winning this match. And special kick. It's a special kick by Mark Sloan. Surely that's it. No, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say, if there was a script, Paul Tyrell has just deviated from it. He's now in improv territory. I don't know what's going to happen. Keep watching. We'll find out together. Pole driver attempt by Mark Sloan. Backdrop reversal. It's a backdrop reversal by Paul Tyrell. Mark Sloan is dazed. Knee to the midsection. Foot to the midsection. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an inverted atomic drop, sometimes called a Manhattan drop. It affects one place and one place only, and that was Paul Tyrell's unmentionables. Look at the acrobatics of this man. Foot to the face. Mark Sloan's features have been rearranged. Some would say for the better. I'm not going to join down that line because I'm not going to comment on a man's looks. I'm heterosexual, and yes, PT Rhodes suplex. Surely that's it, but Paul Tyrell is showboating, ladies and gentlemen. He really is showboating. I love it. The fans love it. Could this be it? There's the splash. That's how he finishes it. 3 count there. Paul Tyrell, along with who he chooses to be his partner, is now the #1 contender for the FWA Tag Team Championship. We'll see that somewhere down the line. But coming up later tonight, we've got the final of our FWA British Heavyweight Title Tournament. There's the Commissioner, Victoria de Montfort, cradling that title belt as she walks to the ring to introduce the participants. We got to take a break. We'll see Doug Williams versus Scott Parker. Come right back after these commercials. On Sunday, the 29th of July, at the Pyramid Centre, Southsea Portsmouth, Frontier Wrestling presents No Surprises 3, featuring former WWF star The Blue Meanie. Check frontierwrestling.com for details. Welcome back to Frontier Wrestling. This is it, fans. This is the big one. The final of our FWA British Heavyweight Title Tournament. The most prestigious prize in British wrestling today. We see our Lady Commissioner, Victoria, come to the ring with the title belt to introduce our participants. Get me the Commissioner.
What you've all paid to come and see.
those ribs. He hasn't waited for his introduction. He doesn't abide by the rules. He doesn't abide by protocol. He's just come in straight away, attacked Scott Parker from behind, and our Titan Tournament final is on.
And I think now would be the perfect time for me to tell you his opponent, the one and only, the anarchist, Doug Williams.
Victoria de Montfort there introducing Doug Williams. I'm not sure she'd be so happy if he won the title tonight. I've seen secret blueprints of Doug Williams' plans for the FWA, and those plans spell out one word. They spell out A-N-A-R-C-H-Y, anarchy. I'm not the only one worried about Doug Williams' plans for the FWA. The whole roster, with one notable exception, Alex Shane, we'll get to him later, are behind Scott Parker. Scott Parker, to all intents and purposes, is the FWA tonight against Doug Williams. He is that ring. He is those turnbuckles. He is those ropes. Walk not on the canvas, but you walk on his face.
No, keep it on. Some of you guys, keep it on.
Modified bow and arrow submission there from Doug Williams. Senior referee Steve Linsky checking Scott Parker. The pain on those ribs must be enormous. As I said earlier, Scott Parker has avoided his doctor all week. That same doctor would advise him not to take part tonight, but this title means so much to Scott Parker. 5 weeks ago, Doug Williams attacked him. Scott Parker has just fought Guy Thunder, a hard-fought encounter, just narrowly coming out on top with his golden arrow finisher. Doug Williams invaded the ring with a piece of metal scaffolding and took it to Scott Parker's ribs. He broke 6 ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hop, 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 hop. They all went. The pain is enormous. That abdominal stretch really isn't going to help. Scott Parker's going to need help from above. And I don't mean the man suspended from the ceiling spotlight. He's going to need help from whoever and whatever looks down among good wrestlers. For he is a good wrestler. I hated Scott Parker when I first saw him. Look at him. He's good looking. He's clean. He's the white bread of wrestling. But he can certainly get a job done. And I, for one, am impressed by his fight. Impressed by his spunk. Impressed by his character. Scott Parker represents me tonight. He represents the FWA. He represents each and every one of you. Doug Williams has no one on his side. That's the way he likes it. He's all out for chaos. He's all out for anarchy. He's all out for teaching Scott Parker that he shouldn't step in the ring with him because he's the backbone. He's going to be champion. That's what's in Doug Williams' mind. He doesn't step into a ring to take part in a fight. He doesn't think he can win. He's going to win this fight tonight. It's in his mind. Doug Williams will be the champion unless Scott Parker can do anything about it. Does it look like he can at the moment? Sadly not.
One more.
That knee buried into the ribs of Scott Parker. Senior referee Steve Linsky showing some leeway here. He knows that a disqualification would do no good. He may disqualify Doug Williams, but the title cannot be awarded on a disqualification of a count-out basis. It must be done in the middle of that ring. 1, 2, 3. Doug Williams bending the rules again because if Linsky disqualifies Doug Williams, they've only got to come back next week and do it again. Scott Parker cannot take that risk. Who knows what Williams will do to him in the 7 days between now and next week. Scott Parker wants to get it done tonight, even if it means those ribs will be irreparably damaged. Damaged beyond repair is what I'm saying. He wants to get it done tonight, and Doug Williams is the man he's got to beat. The crowd getting behind Scott Parker. That section of crowd are in here each and every week. They love the fan favourites. They love giving stick to the heels. Huge bravado coming down on the ribs of Scott Parker. Doug Williams working on those ribs. Those ribs are his target. Another bravado. Only a 2 count. How much more punishment can Scott Parker take? How much more can Doug Williams dish out? Oh, Scott Parker got the knees up. A little taste of his own medicine there for Doug Williams. Scott Parker is the pharmacist. He's dishing out prescriptions. There's your medicine, Mr. Williams. I hope you like it. Well scouted by Doug Williams. I'm starting to believe that Scott Parker can't do it here. The fight he showed is incredible. Backbreaker as well as the ribs. Doug Williams going after the back. And here's Angel. Angel up on the ring. Doug Williams. Oh, a lip lock. That's not an actual wrestling move. And Doug Williams might pay for it. 2 count. Angel getting involved in the best way she knows. She'll put any part of her body on the line, including her lips. Doug Williams took a mid-match break for a kiss, and it nearly cost him dear. Back on top now, Doug Williams going to the top rope. This could be it. A man coming from that height down on your ribs will finish you. But Scott Parker's up. Doug Williams is down. Oh my word! Doug Williams took a heavy impact on his testicular area. There could be testicular bruising. There could be testicular hemorrhaging. Doug Williams has been hit in the area where it hurts most. Scott Parker got a lucky break, and this could be the turning point, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Scott Parker. Keep looking at him. Makes the cover. Only a 2 count. Those ribs must be causing him enormous pain. But still he keeps going. Still he keeps plugging away. What can Doug Williams do to finish the fight? How can he put Scott Parker down? Miss Clothesline. Oh! Revolution DDT! 3 count from Steve Linsky, and there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, your new FWA British Heavyweight Champion, Doug Williams. Doug Williams is the man. Doug Williams is the whole game tonight. He's come to the FWA. He's taken their title, and Alex Shane is in the ring. Does Alex Shane want to congratulate Doug Williams? Has he come to praise Williams or to bury him? I think we've got our answer there. Shane taking Scott Parker down. He clearly hasn't forgiven him for last week's beating. I said there was one man in the back who didn't support Parker tonight. That is Alex Shane. Alex Shane has no time for Scott Parker. He blamed him for last week's defeat, and he's really going to take it to Parker now. One night stand and it's further injury to injury. It's not just insult to injury. It's not just salt into the wound. It's more wounds. Scott Parker is a broken wreck. He's a rag doll. If we sold merchandise, you could buy that rag doll at the table, I'm sure. Scott Parker is done. Alex Shane looks a happy man. Doug Williams certainly happy. He's the new FWA British Heavyweight Champion. He's the man as far as the FWA is concerned. What does this mean for us? What does this mean for my job? Will I still have a job? Look behind you. It's a pantomime. Behind you, it's Guy Thunder. Guy Thunder has made it his business cleaning up in the FWA, and double spear! The same spear that took care of Alex Shane last week has taken both men down. Guy Thunder is the sheriff. We've got to go. I've been Mark Priest. This has been the FWA. I'll see you next week.